It's actually the only wire that needs power to run. Everything's strictly mechanical otherwise. Give her some fuel. Other side. Exciting. If you haven't already guessed, we're gonna go for a ride, or at least attempt to. It's been too long putting in all these hours without any fun. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Mike, and if you've been with me for since the beginning, you'll know that I put this Case 1840 cab assembly here almost 2 years ago, and it's just sat here waiting for its day of restoration. Now, I'm not gonna lie, this has been a very long project and I'm starting to lose a little steam, but we got to push through it. The main part of the machine is almost ready to test run. I don't know if I'll get that out before this video or not, and if you've been here with me from the beginning, just put a comment below of when you started watching the channel. But anyway, for me to get much progress with this, I need to get it into an area of the shop that I can work on it. And also, you may remember that I started the restoration with the boom, and it's been kind of tucked over here on the side of the shop. So that's the front door, workbench, welding table, and it's just been sitting right in this area for a better part of 1.5 years since I've been done with it. And I need to get that where this is, because that can sit back there out of the way, and I start pulling my truck and stuff in here, I don't really have enough room to work on it back there. So let's get these swapped around so we can make some progress. Don't try that at home. We'll just throw this C-clamp on the end of here to hopefully keep this strap from pulling off the end. Really like to get a set of 48-inch forks for this. These are 42s. Oh no, I don't want to mess my area diesel service plaque. Gotta take care of that. For now, we're just going to set this in the front part of the shop so I have room to get the boom tucked back in there. Have I mentioned I love having a little shop forklift? It's one of the handiest things. had a system for lifting this thing, but it's been so long, I don't even remember. It's pretty off balance, weight from the front. Yep, probably gonna have to back up. Man, I don't want to damage my pretty paint, so throw this in there. Spent too much time making this what it is to mess it up. Or throw on my clamp. That'll work. That'll work. There we go. If anything goes my way, it's not going to be here for a year. Well, it's in its new home for at least the next few months. Feels weird having the shop changed around because it's been this way for so long. Like I said, it's starting to be just a fixture of the shop for a while there. Oh. Yeah, the frame of the forklift caught the edge of the fender, but it didn't hurt anything. So I've been thinking about this. I think I'm going to go at this on two separate sections. I'm going to pull off the rollover part from the lower section and just set it aside for now, and I'll worry about that later. And I'm going to focus my attention on the base because that's the part I need to get on the machine to be able to hook my linkages up and actually test it. So looks like there's 2 bolts on each leg and there's 3 across the back. So I'm going to get those zipped out. Some of these are already loose. I think it's completely loose from the, yeah. So I did end up having to take these cables. These are parking brake cables here, loose from the levers. But I think I can now lift it up and move it aside. Get you guys a good look at what everything looks like before I take it apart. This will Also potentially help me with going back together. Looks like they got some new bearings for those control arms. Looks quite a bit more manageable now with that cage off of there. So I'm excited to get rolling on this. I think I'm going to start by taking the handles off and getting those out of the way. Got to work on the linkages down here. And I had put some new ends on this before I decided to completely tear the machine apart. So I've been into this a little bit, but not a whole lot. Mainly just putting these Heim joints on and fixing some of the return spring mechanism down in there. I got a video on that. I think I called it centering mechanism. Looks like I replaced the bolt nut here. Oh yeah, remember I put new bushings in there. I made some custom bronze bushings. That doesn't even need to come off. I'm just going to leave that on actually. And this is the horn, a button I believe. So we're just going to set that aside for now. Go to the other side. Get this cover out of the way. And there's a nut on the bottom of that. And kind of see how this works. There's this pneumatic device that probably smooths out the controls. And then there's a centering spring down here. So I gotta get all that taken out. I'm gonna take this centering mechanism out. Probably replacing all the bolts. I'm not really keeping track of them. And the parts manual shows exactly what part sizes or what bolt sizes are in each spot. Some of these that I've already replaced, like this, looks like I put a stainless nut and bolt in here. Alright, so now I think I just take this bearing, a couple bolts on the front. Yeah, it's not all gonna come out of there. Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to take it loose, I think. So washer on the outside, and then there's the center mechanism that I kind of rebuilt. I got a video on that. And now will it come out of there? There we go. I don't think that's factory. I really don't. I don't know where that part came from. Kind of looks homemade, to be honest with you. I don't know. If you know, let me know in the comments. go ahead and get this other side apart just the same. A little bit more stuff in the way with this bracket there. There we go. Okay. That's the lock mechanism that locks, keeps the, when the parking brake's not on, it drops down, keeps you from moving the machine forward and backwards. Alright, let's take the throttle. Someone put the new neoprene washers on it, so that's nice. They might be homemade, but look like they were working just fine. Oh, maybe they're not. Okay, let's take these dampers loose. That one still feels good. And that one still feels good. Okay, now I'm going to take this crossbar loose. Well, that looks good. There's a bushing in there. And there's a bushing over here. Both of them look good. I'll set that aside and take this little bearing housing loose over here. There's some long bolts. Man, my battery's dead. Pretty sure that's been replaced before. All right, I got this crossbar. And let's see, other side. Yeah, we got another, same thing over here. Okay. 2 brake pivots down here. Pretty big external C-clip on this lockout mechanism. Bushings look good. Alright. I'm gonna just put I'll leave that off. Another one of those bearing housings down here. This one's just caked with junk. I can't see very well. I can't see very well. There we go. So, 2 bolts on each side. This controls the parking brake. This guy's, surprisingly, that one's frozen almost. Yeah, I can't even turn that one. So it'll all clean up fine, I'm sure. And then the same deal on this side. That one's kind of froze as well. Probably still okay though. About got everything off of this already. So these 2 bolts are Allen headed. They're adjusting the forward and return stops. So how far the lever can go forward and backwards of the control arm. You know, the wheel movement. Let me find an Allen that fits those. I'm sure those aren't going to come out easy. When I take this case logo off, looks like it's either been off or almost, yeah. I'll keep that, put that back on. All right, a couple things left. Got this auxiliary pedal down here. I'll leave it like that for now. I think the only thing I have left are these pneumatics control cylinders. Let's see. Here's one. Yeah, they're good shape. They say Monroe on them. I know they were replaced before. What else? I think these are seatbelt bolts that no longer have seatbelts on them. I think the one thing I see left back here is the roller for the cab. I roller for the cab down here looks, I don't know. Not too bad a shape. I actually think I might have spare ones of those in my parts bin that I got with this thing. I'm not sure. Don't see any place to hold or anything. I bet there was supposed to be a nut on there and it's just frozen. Yeah. I'm gonna have to look into my parts bin and see. I think I have one of those. Got a nice big flat spot on that one. Alright, I think D124529. They sure look right. I got a big old bucket of parts with this machine. That's them. Wow. And the question is do I have this piece? Because that side is missing down there. So I'm looking through all these parts that I got with the machine, and I got a lot of pump parts. I'm not even sure where that goes. Maybe the rear door kind of looks like, possibly. And the coupler bushings, someone replaced the oil level. Unfortunate, that's got a hole in it. Some of the battery stuff, I don't have the base or anything. A bunch of injection parts, I think that's the wheel. More battery parts. I'm not sure where that goes. Maybe the muffler or air filter, but I didn't see anything missing on it. Gasket for the injection pump. These are the front pump seals. So you can see this, before I got it, there's been a lot of work done to this machine. Unfortunately, I think that guy is missing. Worst case, I can make one on the lathe. That shouldn't be a problem, just time. But biggest thing is having the pattern, so I'm happy to have that. I'm happy to have it. It's completely stripped. There's our parts. Still a lot of work to do with taking the rest of that, but I usually do it one piece at a time. The exciting part about this is there's only two things I need to do to this before I can paint it and sandblast and paint. First one being the seat pan has a broken bolt in it, and lucky me, more metal work. Notice there's a 90-degree on this fender, and that one's, it's got a little bit of bend to it, not severe, a little bit here and a little bit on front, but you know, while I'm at it, I'm going to straighten it out. So I can say that out of everything I've done on this machine, that's probably the least amount of work I've had to do on any major part. So it should help move this process along a little faster. So that's really nice. I need to come up with a game plan on bending that. So I'll bring it back. I'm going to go after what I anticipate being the easier, is to get the bolt out of the seat pan. I got a nut on the back side of it a double nut or something. I think it's been monkeyed with. I'm going to flip this over to get better access to it. I don't know what they got going on there. This is one of those pockets for the square nut. So, not sure. Definitely need to power wash underneath this. Okay. Acts like it's just broken off, maybe cross-threaded in that square nut. There's no way it's going to be that easy. If that's the case, I can easily just put a new square nut in there. It's kind of surprising that there's just a... Well, you know what? I think the seat pan's got a slot in it, so you're never intended to take this all the way out. So, sweet. You can see the whole fender deal easier upside down. That's the straight side. That's the bent side. So that's more angled. But in its current position, I think I can work it a little bit. It doesn't need much, but if I can make it perfect now, I might as well. I do not want to bend this area. We're going to support that. There we go. And per usual, doesn't want to move at all. Okay, here's my initial plan. I got the inside edge of this lip supported with 2x, kind of shimmed up off the ground. The biggest dent is right in this area, so I'm going to try to hit it. And my luck with hitting and bending things back on this machine's been quite poor. But I'm going to start with this and see what I can get. I actually think I did something. I think I got a plan. This happens to fit in there. These things don't usually like to function on their side, but we're gonna see what we can get away with. Even if I can get it to work a little. Oh yeah. And I don't think it moved one bit. A piece of steel in there to back that up. It's like all we're gonna get is that. Still no change. I don't get it. I can crank it all the way out there and basically little if any. It might have changed it a teeny bit. It's frustrating. Yeah, I think it did move it some. It needs to be more like right in here now. Well, I think I got it. I'm happy. A little bit of work, so I think it was worth it. I'm going to flip it back over and look at it from the top side. Looks good to me. Can't believe it, I'm ready for sandblast already. It's gonna really stink for me. It's really humid and it's about 100 degrees and it's gonna take forever. But for you, it's not gonna take long at all. Why do I do this again? I actually find this fun. Well guys, it's been a couple of weeks and as you can see here, I got the bottom fender control assembly, whatever you want to call it, all painted up. And I've got some of the controls over here ready to be put back on. This is just the braking part of it. The return spring, so both of those and these smaller bearings and the hardware. So I plan on just putting things back on one at a time and trying not to take too much apart at once so I can keep everything organized. And I got the factory parts manual here showing me the bolt sizes and everything that I'm going to use up here in these bearings. So I got all that, and I'll bring you guys along with me for the reassembly. All right, I'm going to start on the left one here. And I believe so it sits like that. According to the manual, the curved piece is on the left and it curves up. So, and then I'm going to use this Moly coat. It doesn't specifically say to use this, but stuff's good for high load areas, so it should work well on this. I'm just going to get 2 bolts started or positioned. I want to put some Loctite on them, so I'll do that after I get it all installed here. This calls for locking nuts. I'm using the serrated style, and then like I said, I'm going to put blue Loctite on the threads. Snug everything up. It's stiffer than I would anticipate. It's a little better. I'm going to work on that a little bit, see if I can get it in alignment a better. Oh, most of my problem is these are supposed to rotate like a ball in there. And I assumed it wasn't that big of a deal and I didn't take the time to loosen them. But looks like that was the wrong choice. This one you can see is how it's supposed to be. So, yeah, I should have loosened them like this one. Well, I'm in luck. I kind of tapped this back and forth on all of them and got them all free. Didn't damage my paint much, so that should fix my issue. I'm going to go ahead and put them back on and see now if it turns smoothly. Much better. Completely loose now. It made a huge difference. Trying to turn the bolt side because the nut side has the serrations that dig into the metal to keep it from loosening. So, much happier with that. Before it wasn't even gonna return with a spring. Nice. Real happy with that. Nice and smooth. Yeah, probably should have put the springs on already, but put them on so we don't lose their location. It's proven to be a little difficult to get on. There we go. There we go. All right. Well, I think it's been another 2 weeks since I've done any recording on this. It's really tedious taking all these linkages apart, inspecting them, and seeing what I need to replace. But like I said previously, there really wasn't any wear on any of this stuff. I did have to get a new bushing over here, but all of the little plastic bushings that go in the parts I actually had. The prior owner I purchased a few. But I've laid everything out with the bolts that go with it. So there's the bolts for this bearing here, bolts here, and then all the bolts for this return mechanism, throttle. There's a little cap. All of the washers and spacers are all preloaded, so I think I have everything laid out. And what I've been using is just the original case parts manual here. And I kind of got the pages marked. You can see for this assembly, it shows you all the layout and all the bolt sizes, and I can simply just build one component at a time. Same with the like the return spring assemblies, got it all laid out. I got a video on these where I rebuilt some of that, so you can check that out. But for now, I am going to just start setting one piece in at a time. I did end up finding some used brackets. The machine was missing these brackets, and they mount up on the bottom in the back of the cab and keep it from tilting forward when you slide the cab forward. It was completely missing these, and all it had was the top roller. So it kind of sits like this, and then there's a ledge here. So it rolls on the top one, and the bottom one catches it so it can't flip forward. So I was happy to find those because They are not available from Case anymore, but I think we're ready to start installing things. So I think we can tackle this one here first. This one kind of sits in horizontally right here. I'm actually going to change these around. The manual shows them going from the other direction. If you guys haven't realized by now, I'm kind of a stickler on trying to get everything exactly like it was. I don't know why, it just makes me happy. Run these up with the impact driver. I don't want to get anything too tight just yet. Yeah. This is rotating on the wrong part. I think I got too much paint on that shaft. Took all the paint off the end of that shaft. Let's try this again. Sweet. Nice and smooth. Next set of linkages, and just to clarify, this set is for the forward and rearward controls, so the joysticks to drive forward and backward, and this one is the controls for the loader boom. The interlock, yeah, right here, these two pieces, there's a little metal plate that falls over them that interlocks them unless the brake is pulling them down. The brake hooks here and moves these out of the way, so then it will operate. So we'll get that in. Grease all over the paint now. And the bolts come from the outside on these. Go. Nice and smooth both ways. I'll show you that little locking thing right here in a minute. I'm going to clean up the grease. Okay, here's that interlock bracket. And how that works is, so when you have the parking brakes levers up, this piece is down over these two arms right here. I'll show you. I'll get this on there. So that keeps everything from moving until the parking brake mechanism, I think it lifts this up. The cable that goes up to the arm pulls this up and allows that to move. So that's how that works. Pretty basic. It's a little more snug than I'd like. I think I'm gonna have to do something about that. There's this return spring that's supposed to pull this back down, and I don't think it's gonna, I don't know, it might do it on its own. Let's see what it does. Yeah, I didn't think so. I think I got too much paint on the back side of this, and it's causing issues. So I need to take that all back off and scrape all that paint away and see what it does. So I'll bring you guys back here in a minute. Okay, so I took this back off and I took the paint off of each side of this bushing and on the inside of the post, and now it returns normally. So that will work out. think the only thing I got to put the centering mechanisms on and the pneumatic, the piece, I guess you'd call it the absorber that kind of controls the motion of the forward and back drive. The little pneumatic deals. Let me grab one. I couldn't think what to call them, but these kind of stabilize the movement. I was gonna go put these on, but after checking all the ends, there was quite a bit of play in them. So I ordered some, and that's gonna delay me from getting them on. They should be here in a couple days. But we'll move on to the handles. Got these painted up and all this reassembled. And I did confirm that, I'm pretty sure these are homemade because this all looks like someone made it in their machine shop. They did a really nice job, so I'm gonna use it. And I did Loctite this nut, and it had been running that way and there were no issues with it. So I actually like it better than the bushing setup that Case had originally with these ball bearings. I'm sure it's a lot more stable. These are a locking bolt. Too much paint in the threads again, or in the hole. Deal with that here in a minute. All right. Okay, we're ready to put these return mechanisms in for the handles. Got those right here. I got the bolts and nuts up here, but I'm short one lock nut, so I'm just gonna do a temporary installation and I'll run to town and get the rest of the hardware. I'm starting to get low on these flange type locking nuts, but let's get those put on. These guys go on the outside. There's two different sides of this. There's the double locking side where you make your adjustment that goes to the front. And I need to check and see. I don't remember which side the bolts go. Okay, it shows the bolts from the inside going out. And that hooks onto the handles and to this rod here, and there's some washers to fill up the gap, but we'll worry about that once we get this tightened down. Let's grab the other side. Looks like I already have it here. Gonna run these up to where I can get this bracket flush so I can figure out my spacing. I don't want to tighten it down completely. I'm just going to center this in here and kind of snug it. and then I'll need to adjust it later. This is gonna cause it to creep if this is wrong, and so there's definitely some adjustment that's going to have to be made after the fact. But to get all my clearances right on the spacing to these heim joints to this bracket, I need to get this sucked down to see where I'm at. Looks like 2 washers would take up the slack on that. It does show washers in between here in the manual, so I'm not just making this up. Manual shows it coming from this side. I don't know why, because it seems like the other side would be much easier. But locking nut. That's pretty good. Well, let's do the other side. I have the center mechanism snug down with just 1 bolt till I get another one, another nut. This here. Okay. And then a locking nut. Okay. Perfect. Okay guys, I know it's hard to see what I was doing in there, so I'm just going to kind of bring you in close. I did some off camera here. I got that ball joint hooked up right there, and then the ball joint on the bottom of the arm. See how that works. Same with this side. So you can see, if you had these out of adjustment, it would pull on the pump arms. So you can adjust them here, forward and back, and there's also limits that screw into the front here to keep the levers from going too far one way. There's a Allen head with a lock nut that screws in here, and it holds against all the way forward. It pushes back on a piece, all the way back, pushes back on the bottom of the lever, and that's how you control how much travel the arms have. I don't have those bolts in just yet. Did throw in the throttle lever. Got 2 pieces of neoprene lock nut. I'll glue the rubber piece on there, but we're getting real close here. I think I got enough stuff to get these control rods at least down in here in place. It's just a grade 5 bolt, 1.25 inches. I believe the bolt comes from this side, which nope, that's not right. It's backwards. Shouldn't be this hard, people. Lock nut on the back. The handle tilts this, pulls up and down on this, which pulls up and down on that rod down in there. Right now it's locked by that interlock. I'll get the other side on. We're getting real close to getting this lower part of the cab on, but we got to get the rollers worked out. And if you remember right, I got these used, and there was only this assembly that was still left. We were missing one of these, so I went and made one on the lathe. I'll throw up a picture here, but I didn't record it because it's a pretty simple part. And I was lucky enough to have the two new ones of these in my parts bin that I got from the prior owner. So right now, we should be able to assemble this onto the machine. I'm going to assemble this part here. I got some new clips because I was missing two of them. There we go. Perfect. That's the one I made. And the original here. Now we can go assemble this on the actual cab area. Okay, so that bracket sits on the back of the cab, and like I explained before, there's a roller top and bottom. The top one actually rolls on the flange of the main machine, and then when the cab gets so far forward, it's going to want to tip. So this bottom roller is underneath the flange and keeps it from flipping forward. So let's see here. Got a long bolt that comes from the back side and the bottom roller, and it goes through this outside hole. And then there's a top bolt, and we got two lock washers here. All right, I'll run these up. Let me show you how we ended up here. Lower roller, upper roller, both brackets. Perfect. Now we need to get the roller on the actual chassis that the front part rolls on. As the rollers for the front are on the machine. Okay, so on the front of the machine, we have the rollers up here. And then this lip is where the back of that cab runs on, and that's how that lower roller keeps it from flipping forward. This was one of the original wheels. It's in pretty rough shape. The bearing's frozen. I was able to find basically almost perfect match. Width and everything, bearing. It's the only difference, it's got a 5/16 or 3/8 hole instead of 5/16, but I don't think that's going to matter actually. I'm going to get you zoomed in here, and we'll get these wheels on. All right, we show A grade 5 bolt, no washer, going through. And then a spacer, which we have the original spacers. And then a washer, it says a spacer washer. So yeah, that all fits. And then just a regular flange lock nut. So that's all there is to it. So that fits good. No modifications needed. Now because this has a little bit bigger hole, it's going to sit slightly lower. But looking at the height above this, it's not going to matter much. I might just kind of raise it up a hair bit. Like again, I don't think it's going to matter. It might just come on over though. Oh yeah, it did. Look at that, we should be ready to get the cab slit on. Perfect. All right, this machine's tucked too far in the corner. I can't get a straight shot with the forklift, so I need to start this thing up and get it moved out into more of an open area. Stinky. Hoping I can balance this good enough since I only got 2 straps. It's not working enough. Oh, I don't want it to hit. No, 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 no. Okay, we're gonna have to drop this roller. See if I can get you in there. This bottom roller down into this slot and then all the way back along the machine. I'll probably just roll the machine forward. Okay, it's kind of in there. Get the front down a little more. Seems to be clearing. I'll get you a view from up under here. See how that works. I'm gonna lower some more, get it level, and then I should be able to roll the machine. Oh, okay. I should just be able to let it down now. I think it's on. Yeah. Whatever it's hitting. No idea what it's hitting. Oh, the stops. Okay. I might actually have to take those brackets off. Let me show you. There's these stops here, and I'm in front of them, and I need to be on the other side of them. So I think I'm gonna have to take each side off and then roll it back and put them back on. That's probably why they're missing. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Okay, I took them off. Now I got the rollers behind that bracket. That guy right there. So I should be able to just let the forklift completely down. There we go. Because now it's got its own stop. Nice. I'll let you guys see that from farther back here. Once all the rollers are in place, the thing actually comes forward easily. When I took this thing off, I practically had to drag it off because, well, now I know why. I'm just gonna pull up these parking brake springs out of the way and see if it'll slide all the way back. There it is. Now guys, that's going to be a wrap on this one. I threw the seat up in there just for fun, and I did attach the linkages to the pump just temporarily, just so I could kind of move it around easier. There's still a lot to do, but we're going to close this one up, and we're getting to the point where it's starting to look like a skid steer again. So really happy with the progress. Please give me a like and subscribe if you liked my content, and we'll see you next time.